Gotta go out there and ball. I don't think
Right. Do a 6-page research paper.
We're just gonna build the platform and.
How's it going, everybody? My name's Dev.
That's the challenge.
Support equals support.
I'm trapped in New Mexico, you know, and
Stay beautiful. Stay beautiful. Stay beautiful.
Nell Darnell said, "Our hero." What I was gonna say.
Well, let me tell you what it's not. It's not mental illness. I think that mental illness and gun violence are two separate issues, but they overlap often. So I don't think that it has anything to do with gun violence or mental health problems. That's separate. And I think people use that as a crutch to cover up the fact that there are these white men that believe that they are superior and they have a lot of evil in them. And they just feel like they're right and everyone else should not be here.
Sir, excuse me.
Yeah, like you're
Excuse me,
being
that's
a real
not necessary.
bozo. I'm just telling you, girl. You're being a real bozo.
Okay, well, you
I'm
just
gonna
did
get
that
dirt off
over
my
there.
team too in a second.
What's going on about this? Because it's not even funny.
And we'll see what the
You're
result
going to turn
is
into the
then.
next little Anthony Salmon. if
You
don't
definitely are. Here.
Please get your friend.
No, I'm just saying, like,
No,
you can't
that,
call me a
but
racist
you,
when clearly
sir, listen,
we have
listen,
our
listen,
friends
listen,
over
listen,
here. Yeah, I do.
listen,
All my friends, I don't know his name, but he's a friend of mine because we're all Trump
sweetheart,
supporters.
listen to me. That's
Call me
fine.
sweet.
Listen, you're acting like a sweetheart.
Oh, thank you.
You are.
Do you want to go on a date?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. If anybody, hey, how's it going, guys? Dev here, Coach. How's it going?
What's going on, peoples?
You're probably like, oh no, there's no Ashely here. Hold on, wait. If you stick around, we offer a free date with Ashely to whom to whoever stays, likes, shares, comments, does all three. You get an opportunity. You get a chance. You get a chance at a free date.
Yeah, you get a chance. We don't know how she's going to handle that one. But nah, Ashely is actually out on the front lines doing what she's doing. We hope we can get her to call in. We are never going to disrupt somebody that's out there fighting that fight. She's actually down at the place over the weekend. A lot of our viewership might have seen it. It was a viral moment in Pittsburgh where an assault took place between some young ladies and some business owners at a gas station sort of type thing, like a, I guess, what do we want to call that? A bodega. I would call it a bodega, but I guess it's just like a store, a little convenience store. And Ashely does what she does. She goes down there and she protests and fights the battles and figure out what's happening. And a lot of development came today where some charges were pressed against the store owners. And there's just a lot of things going down in Pittsburgh, and we just couldn't get her on. She's trying to get back home. She might pop up, so we'll just see how that goes. But shout out to Ashely for out there for fighting the fights.
Yeah, I'll actually send you guys over here real quick just to show you a clip of where she was at before she was there. So give me 1 segundo.
I left my wallet in El Segundo. You don't know nothing about that one, do you?
Mama, pray for me. I want the system let me be. Want the system let me be. Ain't no sense.
I mean, while you just start to talk off and I'll come in. Just say you left my wallet in El Segundo.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's the scene. They're singing a pretty good song down there, man. I don't know what it was. They got like all the cheers and jeers and stuff for the protest. I think that's cool. Do they have to rehearse that, or is it just like one person, kind of like how it was back in high school, right? Like whenever you cheered for the football team, one person would just say the cheer and they'd say, "Repeat after me," and then like people would just repeat it.
What? What are you talking about? Like, oh, like when you're protesting something, when you're going out and protesting, do they have it like down packed?
Huh? Oh no, that's what I was saying was they like if you go to a protest, you have people that are chanting stuff, and when they're chanting, you're sitting there going, oh my, like, you know, like one person says whatever it is, and then everybody else repeats it, and I'm like, is it that they rehearsed it, or was like there was just one person who says something and everybody else is like, oh yeah, just repeat what this guy says?
I don't know how it started, but I guess that's the gist of it. Like it's like at a party, at a DJ, the DJ says something, you repeat it back, back and forth, stuff like that. But I guess it's that same concept.
Whoa, Lorenzo hit us up real quick though. He said Ashely was told she is not welcome because she's white, so we've left.
What?
What? What are you talking, Lorenzo? We need explanation, man. We need explain. But
we need you to go live off her phone if she's driving, and then let's get some of that interaction or wherever you guys get pulled over, and let's talk about this. We ain't for that shit. This is we whiff that fight. This is what Bridging the Gap is about.
Yeah, and also Lorenzo said he does do some rehearsing, but he messes up his words often, but no real practice. And so it's a call and response. We say something, you repeat it, or I say no justice, you know peace. Okay.
No peace. Yeah,
gotcha.
I'm definitely familiar. Father being a Black Panther, grandmother, all in the mix. Yeah, I was raised on that stuff.
Wait. Who was a Black Panther?
My father.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Was he like in the first Avengers movie or something?
Bro, come on now.
I'm just messing with you.
Come on now.
He says, come on now.
Come on now. Let's get that together. Yeah, so we're going to wait to see what happens. Obviously, Lorenzo is her right-hand man. They do a lot of that stuff together. So they go down there, and I guess Ashely gets a lot of stuff from both sides because she protests injustice. So the Black side might look at it. She just doesn't protest for Black injustices. She's about all injustices, like the Malcolm X. Before Malcolm X passed, he realized. But it just happens a lot of injustice in Pittsburgh is on the African American community. So I've had many conversations with her where she's getting pulled. She's getting stuff from both angles because of her skin and not what she's trying to do. So that is very, very disappointing to hear, man. We got to do better in our communities. If somebody's down there to fight, you got to she's the modern day, to me, the modern day Jane Elliott. Those who don't know who that is, go Google her. But there's been white people in this struggle with us since day one. You got to stop looking at that. We got to look at people's motives to see what they're doing. And I've had many conversations with Ashely, and I don't see none of her motives being self-preserving or any of that. She's just trying to do what her passion is and do what's right. Yep. So you got to do that.
Lorenzo just said that he was told, also himself has been told that he's not brown enough. Like
what? What kind? Where was y'all at?
Yeah,
where was y'all at?
I don't know, man. This is my mental thinking. Like if I'm in a protest, right? If someone's there for my cause, it doesn't matter to me the color of their skin. Like like if I'm out protesting because I want, I mean, I don't know. I'm just making something up. But like I'm out here throwing a riot because I want a new PlayStation game, right? Or something crazy, whatever. I want money for things. And if people are out behind me like, yeah, man, I want you to get that game, and they're out there cheering for me to get this PlayStation game or something, I don't care what you look like. I'll be like, yeah, look, see, these people want me to get the game, right? We're on the same team. We're helping to try and get the same thing. That's where I'm at. We're like, it doesn't matter what you look like. If we're trying to get something, as long as you're working with me to get that same thing, let's do it. Hell, I'm even okay with the people opposing my side standing out there. Good. I need you here in support. That way we can talk to you and be like, so where are we not connecting right now?
Yeah, this whole thing sounds a little crazy to me. I don't know what's going on. I've been in the midst of that. I definitely would have probably, like I seen all kinds of things like it's the injustice. I don't see no color in that right there. I'm trying to fix my mic. Sorry about that. But if you're fighting the injustice, man, like I don't care. I'm definitely gonna look for moles and plants, but I mean, once they get vetted out and you see what the intentions are, man. Like you said, I don't give you purple, green, whatever. If you're with the cause and you're ready to rumble, let's get it.
Right, yeah. I don't care if you're like
Let's
100
get
feet
it.
tall and you look like Cthulhu. Like, just, yeah, as long as you're with it. Oh, no, what was I going to say? What were we talking about down in Pittsburgh? The fentanyl party.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
Man, when are you and me going to have a fentanyl party, man?
Man, get the fuck out of
Come on,
here,
man.
bro.
Come on, bro. Listen.
Bro.
I'll be the one to say, I'll tell you what. You're going to be the one to save me. I'll do the shooting up. I'll shoot.
From my understanding, I wonder, is that true? Or is somebody just motherfucking made that up?
Do you think it's like an urban legend?
I don't know. I'm thinking is maybe, you know how trolls are, but I don't doubt it. People have done stuff like that before. This isn't a new thing. This was done before, where a couple people shoot up to the point where they OD and then somebody hits them with a narcon to bring them back. But they said the person that was shooting up, I heard this before. It was kind of like a joke. So I don't know if that was somebody just bringing this joke back to try to make fun of it. But I've heard it before. But the person that was supposed to hit with the Narcan shot up to an OD. Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you people? If that's true, what the fuck is wrong with you?
But wasn't the story that he came from like a Pauly D party or something? Pauly D.
Oh, yeah. They had the wristbands of Pauly D on them. So, DJ Jersey Shore boy was up there mixing it up. And I guess they were like, hey, let's do this.
At a Pauly D party, man.
At a Pauly D party.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Pauly D went pretty hard on Jersey Shore, but I mean, I think that's taking it to the extreme, don't you think? Like, all right, let's do this, man. Let's shoot up fentanyl. Like the stuff that literally in Pittsburgh where Mac Miller died, bro.
Right, yeah.
Mac Miller. Like repping Pittsburgh. Lorenzo got back, though, and said, white people want justice for black folk, too. It's a lot, y'all. We trying to address it now, but soon Ash will reach out. So I'm assuming Lorenzo's saying that Ash is going to reach out to us soon.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
tell her whenever. She know how to get in touch, man. Sorry to hear all that. And we, like I said, we discussed, she always got a platform to come over here and discuss what needs to be discussed. We got y'all back 100%.
Yeah.
So,
hey, let's keep it in Pittsburgh. I was gonna bring up your Steelers.
No. First, hold on. Let me say one more thing about the
he's like hold on. Let me say one more thing quick.
About the fentanyl shit, man. That when you do think like to me like that, like what I want to ask you this question.
Okay.
What can I peer pressure you to do? Like because there was a leader. There had to have been a leader. Like, what was the pitch?
Yeah, right. I don't know, man. I think you have to have like a bunch of individuals in their lives that are like, I want to be so close to death that I could like taste it. Like that's what I'm thinking. You know what it sounds like to me? Remember in like the early 2000s, 90s that cult that they thought they were gonna get on Halley's Comet and they drank the Kool-Aid with the rat poison in it, and they thought they were gonna like their spirit. Yeah. Right.
Jimmy Jones.
That's exactly what it is. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, there is a leader. There's a leader. There's like Charles Manson. Charles Manson, we believe, never killed anybody, but he got people to do it. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? So it's usually like one power person that gets people to do it. If that happens, you guys just all I can say is don't be a fucking follower. You know?
Don't be a follower.
If you're going to be the person in that scenario, be the leader. Be the leader in the background is all I can say. Don't be the fucking follower.
Yeah. Right. Well, apparently the leader was the guy who was like, all right, guys, and then I'll bring you back with the Narcan. And then he just totally botched it. He's like, you know what? Actually, I lied. I'm going to get high as well.
That shit's crazy, bro. That is crazy. If I ever came across that as they're getting revived, I would help in every capacity to bring them back. But I would probably make it at least a year of my lifetime mission after they got the help they needed to fuck with them about it. Like, what the fuck was, you know what I mean? Like every time, how long?
Haggle them.
Yeah, haggle them. Like, what the fuck was on your mind? You know, you know what I mean? Because you have to.
I would have to do it with all of them though. Like I'd have them in a group chat, like all the people that were involved in a group chat. Like what the fuck were y'all thinking?
It has to be some tough love in that shit right there. That's just crazy. All right, so now you want to stay in Pittsburgh. You want to talk shit about the Steelers. Okay.
Oh, I'm not talking shit because hold on, before we even move forward, the Raiders, my team got completely shit stomped. So, yeah, go now we got that out of the way. Go ahead, coach.
Well, bro, you heard me when you walked in the crib today. What did you hear? You heard me and my
Bro,
son.
you were talking with your son. You were talking with your son just going in on the Steelers. You were like, they were getting beat off the ball. You were yelling at your phone. Maybe not yelling, but you were definitely like at a higher level of voice.
Yeah, I was ready.
In a disgruntled tone, for
and
sure.
It was, yeah, but me and him just like, that's just something we do. We go back and forth. Like, that's my son, you know what I mean? I've coached him. We've been in wars together. So he knows football. I know football. And we were just going back and forth. And we weren't disagreeing about anything. We were just like that passionate about the game of football. And especially when you get to your team and they're playing so fucking poorly, yo. I mean, I wanted to pick up my TV. Remember when I told you what I did in Melvin's thing?
Yeah.
That's a true story. Like, one day you're going to meet my brother and he's going to tell you that's very true story what he told you. I really yesterday, since I don't, you know what I mean, I'm trying to live a better life, I really thought about picking up my flat screen and throwing it out in the middle of the street, yo. Right out in the middle of the street, yo. Because that's how poorly the Steelers play. How the fuck do you get 4 turnovers in the first half and you only get 6 points out of it?
That's like unheard of. That's a sin. That should be a sin in football. Like, if you get 4 turnovers and you still can't win the game, like, I don't know, what's wrong with you? How can you only come away with 6 points? I could understand maybe 2 touchdowns, at the minimum 2 touchdowns. I could be like, okay, you got 4 turnovers, 2 touchdowns. Okay, you're playing a good defense.
You got 14 out of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool with 14.
Right. But you're gonna tell me 6 points? You got two field goals, not 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals out of it.
Right. So, I was upset about it. That's all I could say. Dog, for real, I went to sleep. To sleep after the game. I watched a little bit of the Browns game, and I'm like, you know what? Because the Browns were actually playing good. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, fuck football, man. I went to sleep.
Football.
I started to act like a little-ass kid, yo. I went to sleep on that, man. But everybody that knows me knows I love that game of football. And the Steelers especially. But there's a lot of work that we need to be having done. I actually think that, like, if Tomlin does not make the playoffs, I think this is it. I think they're going to void his last year of his contract and move on.
Mikey Tommy Tomlin getting the boot, huh?
Get the axe.
Who do you think would be a replacement?
I think they're going to go out. They're going to give Bill Cowher the Johnny Gruden deal.
Bill Cowher? Who are we talking about? Bill Cowher?
Bill Cowher, the last Steelers coach.
Oh, okay.
I think they'll give it to him. I think he's ready to come back. He did the things he wants to do. I think he's waiting for the ultimate position. And I honestly think the Rooneys had conversation with him. Like, hey, listen, you know how we are. We keep a coach. We're going to give him every opportunity. We're going to give Tomlin the 2021. Are you going to be, is this something you can, and he probably said, yeah, give me a look out then. I might want to do that. Can I get a Johnny Gruden deal? And they were probably like, yeah, we can give you a Johnny Gruden.
$100 million.
And some more pull in the office. Yeah, we can give you that. And then, we'll see what happens from there. But to be honest, man, I love the opportunity that, especially how he got the job. Not saying he wasn't qualified, but the Steelers organization as a whole with the Rooney Rule, getting more black coaches jobs, and Tomlin ended up with the job in Pittsburgh. I love that fact that that's what happened. He had a winning percentage, but me as a coach, I'm critical, especially of our teams and myself. So I'm looking at a lot of his play calling. I've been saying it for the long time, how he organizes, I think he's a great motivator. I went to a couple of his coaches clinics. I see how he is. He's a great motivator. I just think he is not some of the things that he's doing. He just can't compete with the likes of Bill Belichick. That's why he gets, you got to be able to step it up.
Right. If you're not going to be able to, basically, if you want to sit amongst the top tier of coaches, you got to be able to beat the top tier of coaches.
Yeah, you got to beat. You can't beat them once out of
15 games. Yeah, and then be like, oh yeah, you get the. What do you get? You don't get in the Hall of Fame. You get a gold star. That's what you get. Hey man, you beat them once. Here's a gold star. Take that.
Find a new job, Mikey Tomlin. Bring Cowher back. Now, I'm all for, like, if he could pull it together, I just think that there's things that you do, like, for whatever reason, bro, it seems like they don't, like, their game plan is whack and they just stick to it. There's no Hey, let's adjust.
No adjustment. It's just this is the game plan.
Like, what do you do? Like, me as a coach, I would have a person that I trust. That would be their job. They would be sending me information that has nothing to do with. They would do no coaching. They would just be looking for information that I need to change the game plan. Mm-hmm. That's it. They'd be in my ear, and they would be like, "That's your job. Find their hole and let me know."
Yeah, well, don't they have like assistant coaches for that, or like assistants to the offensive coordinator and things like that? Because I remember watching the All or Nothing with that Cam Newton on Prime, and they would have in the room, up in the booth, you would see what's his face sitting there, the offensive coordinator of the Panthers sitting there, and then another guy was to his right, like another guy watching the stuff, like, and he was never introduced or anything. So I wonder if that would be him, if that's the other guy who's supposed to be helping him out, like look for the hole. And stuff like that.
Most coaches have a person like that. I think it is with the Steelers. See, like all these guys that he has around him is his guys. Like he coached with them in that college, and they helped been around, and he made moves with Dick LeBeau to get Butler in there. He forced Dick LeBeau out. Dick LeBeau had another good year in him if they would, And I think he's just trying to be too loyal when you have to go in the room. When you're the head, when you're in charge, you have to go in and make the fucking changes. It's that simple to me. We have to, and me on the outside, I'm not seeing that he's doing it. Mm-hmm. Like, even if he keeps it on the hush, you would still see signs of, like, it's like he's in the room and they're just having conversations.
It's the boys. It's the boys club, basically. It's like, all right, hey, guys, we're the Steelers organization. Now we're all going to sit around the couch and talk about stuff. And then maybe we'll throw together a football game
plan. Yeah,
maybe we'll throw together a game plan.
If you're the leader and shit ain't going right, you got to flip over some tables.
You got to flip some tables. You got to tell some people to get the fuck out. You're not welcome here no more. What are you doing? You got to start asking that to people. Hell, you got to ask the coffee girl, what are you doing? And she's like, I just brought you your decaf coffee. Oh, okay, you're good, Sheila. Have a good one. See ya.
Yeah, you got to get in people's faces. And that was the one thing that I took from him, like, because I would get in, everybody would treat everybody the same when I was younger in it. And the first time I went to his clinics, I went to a few clinics. And what I got from it was to learn to talk to people. You got to treat them like, some people you need to yell at them. Some people you can grab them by the collar. Some people you have to say, hey, John, don't do that. Come on, let's figure this out together. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. So, and it helped a lot immensely. But I think at this particular time, everybody's getting it. Yeah. I'm throwing helmets. I'm telling people, walk home. You know what I mean? I'm going all out. Walk home that's what I posted yesterday. The coaches, the players, and the Rooney should have to walk back to the Berg from San Francisco and figure it out on the way. Bond or something. You know what I mean? Do something. But other than that, that's my rant on those jokers.
Mm-hmm. So moving on, this is just something I wanted to bring up because I think it's just so weird, is the Greta Thunberg and the 15 other children filed a complaint against 5 countries over the climate crisis. Mm-hmm. She's an activist, a climate activist from Sweden, and they basically filed a complaint with the UN Monday alleging that 5 of the world's major economies have violated their human rights by not taking adequate action to stop the unfolding climate crisis. Now, I think it's interesting because now you have like these kids involved, right? Mm-hmm. And and I think it's very true, because the thing is, the generation that's most of the people that are in charge of the government now, right? They have no vetted interest in what happens to the world in 50 years. They don't give a shit because they'll be gone. It's game. You know what I mean? Like they're on their way out. See ya. Have a nice day. And they're leaving a world behind for the younger generation. I mean, probably at the end of your lifetime, towards the end of your lifetime, you'll see it. And then the majority of my life, perhaps, maybe I will see it. How the world will be unfolding, but as the younger generations come, they'll be dealing with these problems, having to fix a fucking mess, and basically these younger kids are trying to hold the UN and every other accountable, because the UN has already said that climate change is a very serious issue facing the world, and they're saying, well, UN, why have you not held these countries accountable? And one of them being the United States. So,
and you're saying this is how old is she?
Well, I believe Greta, if I'm not mistaken, let me try and look up her age. But the 15 children are not. I think she's older, I want to say. I'm gonna look that up quick while you're talking. But
so they're starting a young coalition to say why aren't, especially the United States, why you guys aren't addressing this.
Sorry. She's also 16 years old. She's a teenager.
So these are teenagers, and they probably started this way before. Like they're just getting like now. So, young adults trying to make some change. And it's kind of smart because what can you do? Like you can get some people to listen. Like if it was me and you out there, with the protest and all that, people are going to be like, get out of the way. We're going to get, whatever needs to happen is going to happen. But some kids, you're going to get the platform.
Obviously they're listening because if you look it's like the biggest trending thing right now is that, and I've seen a bunch of people posting on Facebook and whatnot because, it's kind of crazy to think that 16-year-olds are taking on the UN and telling them that they're doing wrong.
Right.
And I agree. I think you have to hold the UN accountable, especially whenever it's said that climate change is one of the greatest threats to, basically human civilization, and they allow certain countries not to do it. Oh, sorry. The petition names Germany, France, Brazil, Argentina, and Turkey, which say they have failed to uphold their obligations under the Convention of Rights of the Child, a 30-year-old human rights treaty, which is mostly widely ratified in history.
So, hey, I'm all for it. Like any kid that's taking pro action, as long as there's not some creepy adult behind it with an agenda, you got to just be like, hey, man, let's fight with them.
But now that's the thing is that now and like I said, I don't like to enter the world of speculation, but we very much have to consider that there has to be some kind of adult supervision who's orchestrated or at least help orchestrate it, because how would these kids even get to the platform of the UN? You know what I mean? Like the UN, United Nations.
You're true about that. You're true about that. But I could also you have to look at it like this. We'll just say like when a kid could come up with these ideas and then they got some attention from the local news. They probably had their maybe a proud mom that just watched out for them and said, let's go to this event. Okay, let's go to this event. And then somebody, let's go to this event. They're meeting people, shaking hands. Oh, that's awesome. Here's a platform. Give that kid 5 minutes. Oh, great job. And then it started catching another steam. Oh, come to this platform. And then this guy's like, keep seeing this kid at the platform. And comes up with an idea, goes to mom, not saying that's what happened. Like you said, I don't want to speculate, but that's how it could happen. Whether it's like, hey, mom, your kid's doing an awesome job. You want to put her through college? Here's $40,000. We're going to, something like that. You could stay with her. We're not trying to take your kid anywhere, but can we have her do this here? Can we have her do this there? Stuff like that. And then work her way up the top. It could happen without the kid even knowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And the just reading through this article, it's just interesting too because they bring in Alaska and talk about how they've gotten people from tribes in Alaska to talk about how climate change is affecting their hunting and their fishing and all that. So again, I just think the whole thing is interesting. And it's cool that we live in a world though where that can happen. Because I don't think if you said this 40 years ago that you would have 16-year-olds walking up to the UN trying to hold them accountable for things that they should be holding accountable.
Oh, that's another thing too. Yeah, awesome. And this is episode 51, so it just reminds. That's what I wanted to talk about. I just lost it for a while there in a minute. What do we know about when Area 51? That happened last week. Wasn't that last week?
No, it was like 2 or 3 days ago.
I
guess it was last week. Yeah, I guess it was. We're at Monday. Sometimes I forget,
Oh, get it together, Dev.
Sorry, I forget what day it is. It's all the fentanyl I'm doing. Anyway, as I was saying, Area 51 came down and, it wasn't a raid. There was no raid like we all were hoping for. Rather, it was just a bunch of people that pulled up to the gate and stood outside with signs. Oh, yeah, you really showed Area 51. We stood outside. We held up signs. Now, I don't even think – I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. Give me a second. I'm going to look that up. I want to know how many people went to Area 51.
All right, you look at that. So I'm thinking in my head, I think I seen a couple different things. It showed where there was a lot of people, and it showed where there was 100 people. They said, you know what I mean? And then there was a whole bunch of people saying, we're not going. They infiltrated our thing. Well, yeah, you told them it was happening. You should have just went live at a day before or something and said, yo, we're here and this is what's happening, and just go do it. You can't tell the world what you're gonna do and then expect it not to get like infiltrated from the top down.
Yeah, right, exactly. So okay, let me see here. They prepared for a certain amount of people to come. Is it gonna let me read this article? I hope so. Between up to 100 people congregated outside the gates of Area 51. About 2,000 would be Area 51 raiders. Also paid visits to the nearby towns of Rachel and Hiko, where the help I don't know what the hell that even says. Parties, campsites in desert. People showed up wearing fancy costumes, etc. Area 51 is highly classified. So really, it sounds like at the most there was 2,000 people there, which is crazy. Yeah. You had that page, right? That page where like everybody was like geeking out on. There was 2.1 million people on it that liked it and said that they were all gonna go to Area 51, and
only 2 racks went.
2,000. Like that's crazy.
Only two racks of the people were like, we're going. They probably like quit jobs. They were dedicated. But so nothing happened. Like nobody had to be restrained, arrested, none of that shit.
Yeah, right. No. I was looking to see how many people died. Like, did anybody actually? I thought I saw a story that said one person died.
It was one of the people doing fentanyl, bro. He probably didn't have nothing. He was just there. Like he didn't even know why he was there. He was like, yeah, let's go to Area 51.
Like, yeah, right. Let's get there, man. Let's go. I mean, what do you have to live for? He's like, I'm an addict. You know, I'm trying to end this thing. Let me go out here. You know.
Let me go try to meet an alien.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there was but the bottom line is, man, like to me, like people just get all hyped up and worked up about it. It's a fun meme. It's a fun conversation, but we know like if there was anything serious about it that the people thought that they had to worry about it, America would have worried about it, they would have gave those warning shots out. Like they would have gave those warning shots out before like anybody even got to that date. They would have went at the top people
of that page and been like, listen, like if you do this, you understand that like
gonna happen.
This is what's happening. Like we're coming for you, your mom, your dad, your sister. We're getting them. They're gone.
So you personally message everybody on this page and say it's a no-go because we could see. Because let's be honest. Let's be this honest, bro. When it comes to things, when the government says, hey, this is going to be a problem, any law that there is out the window, right? Your privacy.
Yeah, everything.
Everything is out the window. So you know what I mean? And they're going to do it with the smooth and no regret to it. So when you do stuff like that and it gets out of hand, believe me, they put a stop to it.
Yeah. Switching gears a little bit, Coach couldn't make it. He had some business he had to handle, but I went down to Crate 1-4 Fest down here in Altoona, and it was a good time. I got to see a bunch of musicians and some people that were performing well. I recorded Crazed Visions. Those guys were great and phenomenal. And then, of course, Pennsylvanians. See, I'm repping the gear. I told you I'd rep it, and I'm still repping it. It's probably like my new favorite hoodie. So, no big deal.
Let us know, anybody out there that like the merch and needs some. We'll connect you with the right people, and also ours too, Bridging the Gap. Always look for that. Always look for that.
You need to be Bridging the Gap repping 24/7, ladies and gentlemen.
24/7.
Get your merch.
Hey, and that's one day we're gonna do that once we move forward. We're gonna have our own little. We discussed this before. We're gonna have our own little thing going on with musicians and vendors and stuff one day. Once we get to that, that's on the goal sheet. That's down the line. The quicker we get mediated media off the ground and running the way it's like efficiently. Right now, it's just a grind. We're not scared to admit that. We have to do things. You have to grind it out when you're trying to make something for generations, and that's what we're doing. We're doing it effectively, but we're doing it smartly. And that brings up something that we talked about earlier. Why we do this show. Oh, before we go any further, if anybody's tuning in right now and you don't see Ashely, but you see the thing on there, she's doing what she does out in the front lines, and she just couldn't make it in time to get up here, so we apologize. We're going to get her on. Whenever she can get on, we'll probably do a pop-up or something, and then we'll go through rundown of what's going on. But in saying that, why we do this thing is communication based. And me and Dev had something we had, we had to talk about. Dev came to me with an issue about how we're handling the business that we're doing, and which was rightly so. We needed to sit down and have some conversations so we could move forward efficiently and effectively. Some things were getting out of unorganization and unclear of what we were doing, and we had the conversation and just get back to work. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. And those are those hard conversations that are, I said it was a conversation that was hard to have. I just remember before saying anything about it was like, I thought about it for, it's probably about in my head for probably about a week or two. And I just didn't want to say anything because it's hard to have those kind of conversations, especially because, how I am as a person. But it's more like being honest with ourselves in the business and realizing that if we don't have this conversation now, it could set us up for failure in the future, and nobody wants that. No one wants to fail into the future. So, but it's all about having those tough conversations, and this was a very tough conversation to have. So again, that's just one of those bridging the gap moments that maybe someday we'll go out when media is like huge and big and everything, that we'll have to like tell that story. But those are, those stories that I think are going to make basically the brand and media bridging the gap that much better. So.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. And that's the point too, right there. Is like, you don't want to, and that destroys, like, me and Dev have a friendship outside of the business, and we don't want to destroy that. We want to make sure that we're always on the same page. Of course, you're going to have, when you're doing something, you're going to have disagreements, but you should never have non-communication. There should never be non-communication. A person should not be able to feel that they can't communicate with the other person. And that's in any kind of relationship you have, whether it's business, friendship, with a significant other, anything. You should be able to communicate. And if you can't, then that's not the situation for you. So always remember that, peoples, and do your best to communicate. Communication. I found in my life, though, Dev, most of the problems, even when it was street related, and that time I was running my life, the worst things that I could think of was happen if I was able to have a communication with that person, but it was between, we were able to squash it, or a relationship issue. We were able to leave that with an understanding. Didn't mean we were going to be friends or hang out or whatever was happening was going to work, but we were able to keep it, keep it civil.
Keep it civil, under wraps, and that way no one's none the wiser, basically. Yeah. I was gonna say, how was it? I think that's okay. This is just something. I think there were more fights, like fist fights, back in your day than there are in my generation.
Yeah.
Now, do you think it's because? Now, hold on. Because that brings up a good question. Do you think that's because people nowadays are soft? Or do you think that's because people could easily communicate with each other? Like, it doesn't have to be, let's have a fight here that's like the last conversation you have with that person whenever you're going to fight him is like, meet me at the parking lot of Big Mac's and we're going to get down. And then that's it. Like, that's the last, they walk away. And then now it's like, I got to meet him at Big Mac's or I'm a bitch. Or you message them, like nowadays you'd be like, hold on, let me hit him up real quick. Hey man, listen man, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm sorry I was staring at your girl's butt. Could we be cool? All right, we're cool. Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Like, do you think that's what it is, or what?
This generation is way more softer, bro.
Okay.
Like back in the day, like what you said, if you got called out, you got to throw them hands. It's a daily thing now. They use it to make money, about sitting and trolling and talking shit to each other, whether they know it. A lot of, like, whether they're planning to do it with each other behind the scenes. Like, me and you could start a fake war and probably get a lot more viewers and a lot more followers if we just started a war with each other and just went all out and said, we're going to do this, that's it, everything's over. We're just wigging out on each other online.
Oh.
And we went to several, like, kept using, like, maybe I went to a platform, you went to a platform. And by the time, if we just, like, brought it back together, said we fixed it and brought all those people, we'd have more people.
No, my boy Andrew comments and he says, so soft. He's saying my generation's soft, Andrew. Come on, man. Come on. You know I'd be ready. I can't say that with a straight face. You know I'd be ready to throw those hands, man. I'd be ready.
Yeah.
Ready to fight.
Ready to throw those hands. And I think it's desensitized, like, because some of the things, let's just use Tekashi, when somebody invites you to their penis, like saying suck my, you know what I'm saying? I don't even like to say it to another man. There's two things that should happen. You better be ready to kill or be ready to die. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the era where I come from. you can't say that to a person without them coming at you like.
Well, hold on. Oh my God, bro.
What?
Bro, what if we hypothetically said like Tekashi was gay and he was talking to another gay dude? He's like, suck my dick. Like, do you think maybe he'd be into that?
Oh my God, bro. Where are you going with that?
Oh man. I was just simply extenuating a hypothetical situation in which no one had to fight nor die. That's all. Just creating a hypothetical situation.
Yeah, if that was that would be that. But no, there's just certain things that you wouldn't be able to do. You wouldn't be able to get away with. I think it's because there's a lot of it's desensitized. Everything's desensitized, where it's like you can't like. And I see the less fighting than it was back in the day because it's so easy. And I think some of it might be that too, where you could squash it quicker because you can get on the line, you can get in their inbox and say blah 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 or whatever.
There was no text message back in your day. There was like, that's what I'm saying. Is like there was like you're gonna fight me here, and if you don't show up, I'm gonna beat your ass somewhere else. So you got to show up.
I'm gonna find you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go find you because you're not gonna be able to hide for long. And then when I see you, we're throwing hands. Yeah, but this time it's like when people see, they'll talk shit to them all day, and then they'll see each other out in public, and they'll be like, "I was just playing, guy. I didn't mean that."
Hi, how's it going? Yeah, I mean, I think also too though I come from the generation of like, hey, don't fight, guys. There's no need to fight.
Everybody gets a ribbon.
Yeah, everybody gets a trophy for participating. Good job, guys.
No need to work hard in football practice. You're all gonna get a trophy and a jersey at the end of the year.
And we're all and a banquet. Even if we go 1-10, we're all gonna have a pizza party.
Right after every embarrassing loss. Yeah, and that to me that is a part of it too. I mean, you definitely recognize, but any real teacher, coach, anything in that manner is going to use the kids that are ahead of it. They're going to be able to reward them, but they're also going to give them responsibility to help get the ones that are behind. Because if you're out there and you're busting, you're doing a good job, that comes with responsibility too. And you're going to help that kid get further in life. And you're going to teach that kid, don't leave the people that are a little farther behind. Help them up too as you're going. Get your hand out there and bring them up. You know what I mean? With you. So it's just that type of thing. I think those are all the things you mentioned are a part of it too.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Like I said, I was just gonna bring up that point of that. Yeah. Like I said, I come from the generation of people who, don't like to fight. They don't like to, or it's looked down upon. Although, like you said, I think you're right about that troll culture, where people will say something like almost to cause a fight, but then like in public they'd be like, "No, man, I didn't mean it like that. Like I didn't mean it like that.
No, I was just playing."
Yeah. Although I've done stuff like that. I'll admit I've been a troll.
What? You were troll? Whoa!
I've been a troll.
You were trolling?
Yeah. Well, not trolling to cause a fight, but like, you know me, bro. You seen it. Like, some people, man, will post stuff that's just like, I think they're asking for it. Like, they'll just say something like crazy. Like, do we have that conversation on the show that I had about the furry thing?
I don't know.
No, we didn't have that. Well, good. Tell you what, we got 15 minutes. We'll have this conversation.
Damn, 15 minutes.
I'm not saying it's going to last 15 minutes. I'm saying that's how much time we got left in the show. But I'm saying we got the time. So a person who I will not name because, I asked them to come on the show and talk about it, and they just acted like I had said nothing, put this thing out. And again, I have nothing against this person whatsoever. But what she said... Say their name. What's that say? Whoa, who said it was a her? Hold on. Wait a minute. Did I say it was a her? I remember.
I'm saying it.
Good thing Coach is bad with names, or else he would have said it. But, I mean, like I said, I'm not afraid to say it, but I have nothing against this person. Just that they made this post that was talking about furries and saying that it was gross and all these things, and it's disgusting. And yet she's one of those same people that says, but it's okay for, it's not okay for someone to think gay sex is gross, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not okay for you to say that, or it is okay for you to say furry sex is gross, but gay sex, you can say that you can't say that's gross. I think you got to
explain what that is. Like, I didn't know what it was.
All right, so a furry, if anybody doesn't know what a furry is, it's basically people that dress up in, like, animal costumes and fuck each other. They have sex. Like, that's pretty much what it is. People that dress up like animals and have sex with each other. Me, I come from the cloth that, like, as long as it's between two consenting adults, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. I mean, whether they want to dress up like Captain Jack Sparrow, and then, you know, the other chick wants to dress up like Belle from Disney's Beauty and the Beast, and they want to do it that way, that's fine. That's their business. You know, you want to do it gay, you want to have a three-way, I don't know how you want to do it. Whatever way you want to do it, I don't care. As long as it's between you guys and you guys all consent to it, that's fine. Now, I think anybody is entitled to have the opinion that some kind of sexual acts are gross. I think that's okay, right? Like, that's fine. Now, do we say that those are wrong? No. Like I said, I could think two gay guys having sex or kissing is gross, but it doesn't mean that I have to say that it's not allowed, because that's between two consenting adults. I can just say it's gross. I don't think it's, you know, which is fine. And she was saying that furry sex is gross. However, she came and said that you can't say gay sex is gross. And to which I said, no, you absolutely can. Just like you can say that furry sex is gross, but it doesn't mean that you can't, that you have to say and denounce it and say that no one can do it.
Right. And then also you got to go along with the consequences of what saying that means.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like in the manner as I took it, like, yes, she was trying to defend that and say, well, you can't say that because of political correctness, and your answer was absolutely right. But like, which one is going to get the comment? If we made a poll of it, what would it go? It would go, they're going to attack you.
They're going to attack.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we made a poll of it and said, what's gross? Furries or gay sex? Everybody's going to say furries, definitely furries. And that's because we've been fighting for so long to normalize it. But I'm saying, what if two gay guys have sex while wearing animal costumes?
Wearing furries?
What's that? That's what I'm saying, right? And like,
right.
Two gay guys that are furries, like, oh, what? Now, well, those are two consenting gay men, but I don't like them dressing up like animals. I think that's gross. And what she said was, it's a fetish versus homosexuality is a natural thing. But on my head, I'm thinking, I think there has to be something in your head mentally, just like if you were a homosexual, right? That says that this is something that turns you on, that you enjoy. Just like being a homosexual, dressing up an animal and fucking another person dressed like an animal turns you on, then I think that would be in the same ballpark range. Do you know?
I don't know. Fetish. I don't know if it's I don't know. I don't know what it actually is, so I can't say what it is. Is it some people? I don't think is actually a fetish. I think some people are just doing dumb shit for attention. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I would have to actually see it to say what it is.
There's people that, you know, like they. I don't know.
Everybody
like
has some weird shit
they got a kink.
Saying they do.
Right,
yeah.
right. And like they're saying homosexuality is not a kink. That's fine. Even if being a furry is a kink and homosexuality is not a kink, right? Which I agree. Then I'm just saying that I think being a furry is closer to being a homosexual than homosexual is to being a kink, is what I was trying to say. And I agree. Yeah, and like I said, if that's either regardless if it's a kink or not, right? If it is a kink, doesn't matter. If it's between two consenting adults and whatever have you, then like I said, it's cool, and you can call it gross. I agree with what I mean. Yeah, you have to face the repercussions of calling something gross. You have the repercussions of having your opinion, because opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one and they all stink, but except for yours, of course. But that's how it is. And like I said, if someone would like say to me, honestly, if someone told me that furry sex is gross, which, again, I would agree that, like, yeah, I'm probably not down to see two people fucking in an animal costume. But then again, I'm down to see it, but it's probably going to be like, oh, dude, why'd I watch that? Like, kind of like watching Jackass or something. You know? Like, oh, man, why did they do that?
Bro, if people think that's gross, they don't want to see my Pornhub search engine.
They don't want to see it. They don't want to
see it because sometimes I get a little weird. I might have one too many beers and check up on something that I'm like, why did I do that?
Why did I even watch this? And like 3 minutes later, you're watching like interracial midget having sex with a horse or something crazy or something, and you're like, wow, like why am I here? Like, why am I here watching this?
It can get out of control. I think it's more like, like that situation, like that really gets to you. Like that, you have a pet peeve with fucking with people like that. That's your troll emotions.
Right.
Like,
well, I just
hate
inconsistency in people's like worldview. I hate it. I hate when someone has like an inconsistency in their worldview. Because me, I try my best to steer towards truth and being as understanding as I possibly can. And I think like when you say a statement like that, where you say you can't say gay sex is gross, but you can say like other fetishes are gross, then I think what it is you're really defending something and holding it to a higher standard because that is the status quo at the time, and saying that no one can have their opinion on it. That's all.
Right.
Like, you know, like, and like I said, I have friends that are gay and what have you. And like I said, I don't think that I don't even think gay sex is gross. I'm just saying that people are allowed to have their opinion on it. Doesn't mean that thing is wrong. We have to ban it from society. It just means that people are allowed to have their opinion on it and they don't have to like it.
Right.
Plain and simple.
I totally agree, man. Everybody, you can have your opinion. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that I'm allowed to be this way, but that person can't have their opinion on what you want to be. That doesn't give them a right to attack you and all that. That's what you can defend. But like they can stand over there and what the First Amendment says it. You can't feel no type of way if you want rights to go against, you know what I mean, what another person believes, and you want to put that in their face. You have to expect what they're gonna give.
Right.
You got to expect that. And I truly believe that. Like, I see a lot of things on a whole bunch of tiers that I know that's wrong. And sometimes I'd be like, look, you know what I mean? I call it as it is. Like, you were doing something that deserved that. You know, you knew that person. It's like picking. Like, even if I don't agree with what that person does, I know they have the right to defend themselves in their space and voice their opinion on what they feel. Right. You know what I mean? I think we look so much at opinion and instead of what's actually like, where does it cross the line of being right? You know what I'm saying? You can have your opinion. You could get on your YouTube channel and voice what your opinion is, or whatever channel. You can do that because we don't have to listen to that. But now if you're just like going
straight
down,
up saying that's wrong.
Going to people's face. I mean, going after them, like coming outside of their houses and saying things about their beliefs or sexual orientation. You get whatever you deserve.
Right. Well, you know, like relate to what happened with Ashely earlier, right? Someone can have their opinion that they don't like Ashely being there because she's too light skinned to be there, right? Someone can have that opinion, right? But then whenever you basically ostracize someone like that and say that like that is what it is, you can't be here, and then force that into action, then I think that obviously that's the wrong aspect of it, you know? That's what I think. Like you can have someone can have that opinion, but I mean like to forcibly action it and say that it's right or wrong, then that's when we start like having that conversation.
Yeah. I believe in that too. I believe that you have like opinions are just opinions. You know, me personally, like I can't live like that. Like I suggest everybody does. But me, I'm just the type of person, if a person came in the room and the opinion that I thought was like, and it was like it wasn't opinion on like president or none of that. But if it was something like that I thought that was just wrong, hateful. And hateful, and they were doing it to hurt somebody or me or somebody I love, I'm going to try to rip their face off, to be honest. To be honest, at all things, I'm going to go that route with it. Because I think, like I just said, like have your opinion, but don't bring that opinion in my personal space. You know what I mean? Because that's when you're attacking, and then I'm going to defend myself.
You don't want these moves. I'm ready. I told everybody I was ready to throw these hands.
You ready to? Is that how you throw? You look like Hong Kong Fooey. You don't know nothing about Hong Kong Fooey, Dan.
What you know about that? What you know about that? He says. What you know about that? I don't know. Not a whole lot.
That's how the whole day consists of. I just come like,
what you know about that, Dev? What you know about? What you know about that, Dev? What you know about that? A whole lot of nothing.
You just look at me like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What song were you singing today? You were singing some damn song today, bro. That was like, I was like, what was it? And you're like, what you know about that? No, I said it because I was expecting it. Because you were singing a song, and I was like, what you know about that, Dev?
Right. Long days. But, hey, man, it is what it is. Definitely, like, we are at that time, though, huh?
Yeah, we're at that time.
It is what it is. Nice productive day. We've been grinding it out. We got some things done. Hooking up some more stuff for Mediated Media, bridging the gap. We got a whole lot of stuff coming up. We're moving forward. We're actually where I thought we would be. we're a lot farther than that. Dev's been busting his ass. We've been grinding this shit out. We're looking to get it on another level this time next year. We hit a lot of goals this year.
Another level for another bezel.
Another
See,
bezel.
There's a watch here. It's a Rollie. It's just invisible. It's the most expensive. It's just the most expensive Rolex there is, and I just had to show it to y'all. So just so y'all know.
Yeah, for sure. And Ashely, we know you're out there. Love from Bridging the Gap. Love from us. I know you're needing some hugs. You're going through some frustration right now. I don't see it's deserved from what I've known of you and the conversations that we have. I think you're standing up for what's right, and we're behind you 100%. When you're feeling better and you work all this shit out, you know you can come here anytime, and we'll pop up and we'll talk about it. Yeah,
like I said, get back to us here soon. We'll be back here at the studio again tomorrow. So if you want to go live or pop up, you got some free time, we can get back to you. Also, shout out to Lorenzo. Thank you for stopping by, chatting with us, and telling us about the situation at hand. Like I said, me and Coach knows she was down there, and then at the last second we saw that she was coming back, but then she couldn't. I don't know what was going on there. She went live. My boy Andrew, shout out for you coming out here and letting me know that I'm soft and my generation's soft. I appreciate you. Later tonight, I'm coming home to play PlayStation, and I'm going to kick your ass in Rocket League. We're just going to 1v1. That's happening. And, but hey, Coach, you got anything else you got to say?
Mike Tomlin, you better be over there coaching football this week. If they come out flat, I'm coming to Pittsburgh myself, and I'm gonna be like, I'm taking your job. I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Who do they play this week?
The Bengals.
The Bengals. Oh man, if they can't beat the Bengals, bro. If they can't, the Bengals. Listen, I gotta be honest with you. The Bengals are a good team. But if they can't beat, not like a great team, but like the Bengals got a defense, and if you have a secondary that the defense that just ain't playing well, look out, man. Like they're gonna cross you up. So again, all I'm saying is if they can't beat the Bengals, man, you might just want to turn the TV off for the season, bro, because it can't get any better than that. It can't.
I'm just gonna have to go through it, man. I'm always gonna watch the game if we're like 0-15.
Yeah, I'm
still gonna be talking shit.
See, I'm a little different in the fact that I'll watch the game, but like once it becomes like we saw 7-31, what's the point? Turn off the fucking TV, man. Like 7-30. I'm not gonna sit here and get mad all day because I have to watch. Like if you're playing crappy football, man, I'll come back and watch the highlights. You know what I mean? Like that's it. Like I don't want to see that game. I'll watch it at 21-7, but 7-31, forget it. And the third quarter, no thanks.
Don't let your Raiders slide, buddy. They're playing a little trash.
I know. I said I turned off the TV because it was so bad, bro. I was like, let's go watch the Bills game. Let's go watch.
Yeah, right.
I was like, let's go watch a football game, man. I'm over this. But all right, as always, stay beautiful, take care of yourselves, and remember everything we said about Bridging the Gap merch. Check that stuff out. And like I said, get at us sometime, guys. We like having special guests on. Also, announcement. Just wanted to make an announcement. October is going to be our spooky month, ladies and gentlemen. We have some very scary, spooky guests coming onto the show. So be prepared for that. As always, stay beautiful. Take care of yourselves. See you.